This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, Mike Gormley has sent a lot of interesting guests my way, and today we have a very talented musician on the phone with us and singer, Willa Weber. How do you do, Willa?
Say hi, I'm fine. Hi, Greg. Nice to hear you.
Here's one thing that caught me about you. I was told that you can sing in 9 languages. Is that true?
That's true, yeah. Actually, there are 10 or
10?
11. Yeah. That's true.
What languages do you sing in?
Well, okay, French, of course, English, German, Polish, Czech, Arabic, Hebrew, I have Russian, Spanish, Italian, so we have already 10, yes.
Oh, wow. What's your favorite language to sing in?
I love French, I have to say, because French is so good to sing. It's very sensual and warm, and that's really great to sing from the sound. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I only speak English, so I'm sitting here to think, who knows 10 languages? Well,
Greg, to make it clear, I don't speak in all this language.
Oh,
I mean, this would be crazy. I sing. I really can sing basically perfect in this language and with the pronunciation, and I know exactly what I sing. But I speak only German, English, French. Yes.
German, English, French. Okay. Now, out of the language that you sing in, which is the hardest one to sing in?
Yeah, I would say Arabic. I just recorded a Middle Eastern track with Martin Davidge on my new Willa Worldwide album. And yeah, this needs some coaching, I then hang out with some Egyptian people, and they really, this is hard for me as a European.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, I'm interviewing you through Mike Gormley now. How do you know Mike?
Oh, I'm so glad I met him. I had been working with people here in Los Angeles,
mm-hmm.
and I met Mike at a party of some friends, and I just knew something is missing in my life here. I need a manager, somebody really I can talk to every day, and So I met him at a party. We talked, and it came out that he actually knows the guys I already started working with, and now they are all on one team. These guys are Jonathan Platt and Jonathan McHugh. Yeah, so this is perfect. I'm so glad I have him in my corner.
I've interviewed a lot of people through him. I first come to discover him through an actress that I interviewed a couple of years ago, and that actually I just got back from Toronto. I've never been outside New Brunswick before, and I was invited by Lisa Langlois, who was an actor. Yeah, I reached out to her, and that was how I met Mike. And Lisa invited me out to Toronto to join her for the horror film convention that was there, and it was such an honor. I absolutely love Lisa, and that was how I come to meet Mike. And after that, Mike just started sending all of his clientele to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, actually, also, I would love to perform someday in Canada. I really love this country, the mentality and everything.
Well, here in New Brunswick, Canada, especially here in Fredericton, we don't get a whole lot of that, and I'm really disappointed with the tourism here, because coming from Toronto, where everything was so fast-paced, I want to go back so bad, and I made a nice connection and friendship with Lisa, She went from an interviewee to a friend, and that was just a blessing. And then coming back here, and it's like, I don't know, I'm trying to showcase New Brunswick, Canada, in Fredericton here, and it's like I'm pushing against the wind. Do you know where I'm located here?
Well, I should really see the cards. Yeah. I should go on Google.
Yeah.
No, so, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, there's a New Brunswick in New Jersey as well, I think so, but there's a New Brunswick here in Canada, and I'm from the city of Fredericton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How is it there now with the weather? Is it very cold already?
You know, it's funny because when I departed from Toronto, I guess they were going to get snow and flurries on the Thursday I left, and I come back here. We don't have snow yet, but it is a little chilly. I know we get hit pretty bad when snow does hit.
Oh, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it will be the way when I get back now to Germany in December, you know.
Yeah. Listen, I need to ask you about Germany because it's funny because when I think of German, especially German musicians, when growing up, I remember Nina. Remember Nina?
You mean Nina?
99.
Nina. You mean Nina? Yeah.
Yeah, 99 Red Balloons.
Yes, of course. She lives also in Berlin. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I play her music on my show.
Oh, cool. Yeah, she made it really big with this song in America, right?
Yeah, she did. And it's funny because the whole album is good, you know. She's just known as this one-hit wonder, but the whole album was good. Yeah.
No, she's great. She's still out there also touring and, yeah.
Have you met her?
No, not personally yet, but I know some musicians around her and, yeah, yes.
Well, give me a little bit about your background and how you got into the music industry and wanted to become a musician.
Yeah, well, basically I'm a singer, but I did the legit, you say, path. You know, I studied classical music, I studied piano, conducting, music theory, and first of all, of course, singing. And I did for several years, the solo parts in oratorios, in these big churches with orchestra and song recitals. I sang in Berlin with Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra one time also. And then this kind of got a little too tight for me, I felt limited to sing always these compositions that others had been composed already. And I met some people in that time. We became friends, and they just opened up a small theater on Times Square in New York. And I really, courageously, because I was pretty well established in the classical world as a solo soprano. I went to New York and explored and did really different things and met with people and produced, obviously. One of the biggest productions I did there is Blue and Deep with a Haitian from Haiti percussionist and multi-instrumentalist. We did Blue and Deep, so that's combining the underground dance grooves with my lyrical soprano voice, and we had it in the Miami Winters Conference, and actually Dan Behrman from Canada wrote the review about it. He was for some time with CBS there, and it's really a lot. And then my background in India, I was a lot in India. I went deep into meditation, and this is always an aspect that is with me, because what I want to do with my singing and my music is really my vision to uplift people. And it's energy. Singing and music is energy. And I had this global acoustic project going on in New York, so I had different musicians from different cultures on the stage. I sing these different languages and performed a lot in the last years in Germany, in Poland, with also philharmonic ensembles, but always doing kind of a crossover thing. And my voice is really good with recording. And I was in a movie, in a soundtrack in Germany. And this made me realize, I want to do this much more. And that was the motivation to connect with people in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, because that's the place to be as a singer in the movie world, right?
Yep.
So, and that's my story. And right now it's like a dream, because all these years of hard work, of course, that was not that easy. These classical conductors said, "What is she crazy? What is she doing now?" Singing kind of popular, with dance beats and so. And now it's this versatility and this openness. It's kind of my timing right now. I have the main role in an opera that will be produced here composed by a Hollywood producer, a lady, Megan Cavallari. I'm working with Marcello De Francischi. He's like a well-established, movie composer. He works with Lisa Gerrard. I just finished this Villa Worldwide album with Martin David. He's, two-time Emmy Award and BMI Award. Really great composers, and it's wonderful. I have everyday recordings or sometimes interviews,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
In short. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike had put a note on here. You just brought it up. Lisa Gerald's producer and film composer for yeah. So
he
what?
met me at my pub. I should tell this, because the team I'm working with, they really prepared a great platform for me.
Yeah, please.
I had a concert. This is only last Sunday, the 29th of October, in the synagogue, in a big, well-known synagogue in Pacific Palisades, and I had the platform, which was great. I could show all my sides. I was performing Villa Worldwide and some acoustic songs, also with Jeremy Cohen. Jeremy Cohen, he is the director of the Quartet San Francisco, Grammy nominees, really great quartet. They are so cool. They play classical jazz, klezmer, tango, everything. That's, So he was there. So and at this concert, some composers and people had been there, also Marcello De Francischi. And, that's it. I often experience when people see me live, that's, again, also a very strong, impression, compared to just listening on the recordings, right? Yeah.
Do you have a favorite place you like to perform at?
This, what I really like sometimes is, I grew up Catholic background, and in south of Germany, where I'm born, there are these really huge Baroque churches, beautiful acoustic, and I sing there obviously with no mic, and it's really special when you sing in such a room when the acoustics just are there, and you fill this whole room, this church, with your voice. So this I like a lot, but I also like, small. I just had a house concert at the residency of the German General Consul here, and I like these intimate things also, when people really sit close to you and I talk about the music, and it's exciting too. Actually, the most important is a good, if you need sound system, that it's good and that the acoustics are good, and the audience, it's all about the audience and the connection with people who listen to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. Yeah.
No. Keep going. What was you saying?
Yeah, I did for some time, or I still do, in Poland at the Baltic Sea.
Okay.
I'm working with a string quintet. These are all musicians from the Philharmonia Koszaliński there. Mm-hmm. And I had a tour going on with them, and this is very exciting. Poland, in these concert halls, and the audience, it's kind of like in the 50s. It brings you some years back. Mm-hmm. And this also, I like this a lot, these people are very grateful there in Poland when they get a concert like with a singer like me, and they are like so the deep connection during a concert when you do so. This is very interesting. Yeah.
I don't
And
have.
then in
Yeah.
Berlin, that was actually a highlight. I was engaged by. I got a part as a singing diva in Berlin. It's the Bertolt Brecht Theater. It's a very well-known theater there, and it was a piece with all actors. And the director, Thorsten Münchow, decided to have a singing diva in it. And so this was, I had this huge week, and I came up with an elevator and did this kind of Fifth Element thing.
Oh, wow.
So that was, you can see videos of that, This is under obviously my German name is Wiltrud Weber. That's my German name, and
Okay.
I'm going under this. Have been going under this all the last years because here people have difficulties pronouncing Wiltrud. So, I call myself Willa, like
Okay.
many friends do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have this information in front of me right now. How many albums do you have out?
Albums 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5.
5. What was it like when you got that first album out, and what was it like to hear yourself on the radio?
Yeah, that was very exciting. My first album is really all originals by myself. It's called In a Different Light.
Mm-hmm.
I also got, actually, people in America wanted to interview me about this. We did also phone interviews. Yeah, it's very, very exciting, from singing in concerts, like for this audience who's just sitting there, to have your songs in radios, and many people can listen to it. It's great. It's just great.
So when you did that first album, and then you went from that to the second album, what was the difference in doing the first album and doing the second album? Was it more challenging, or did you find the process easier?
Yeah, it was a pretty different style. The first album was kind of with electronic elements and lounge style, and I had a producer. It was a real studio production. And the second album was my global acoustic project. This was kind of, we recorded this in a very well-known studio in Germany where really jazz stars are recording also. So we stood all in one room. This was with piano, violin, bass, upright bass, percussion, and myself. And we recorded all this international repertory. So this was, of course, a different experience. This was all about getting really the sound and getting the improvisation parts in. This happened because I just tore my Achilles in New York, and I had to stay in Germany to heal. And then the musician said, "Oh, let's use the time Willa is at one place now. Let's do an album." So that was really great. You always can still sing when you have a leg that is like still recovering, right? Yeah.
Now, how have you grown since your first album? You did 5 albums. How have you grown as a musician through all 5 of those albums? Like, have you seen any huge difference in your take now as compared to then?
Yes, it always depends with what producers you work. So after this global acoustic project, this was an entertainment lawyer in New York, Stephen Beer, with Jewish background, and because my Hebrew is really good, I sing really good in Hebrew, and so he said, "Hey, do an album with Hebrew songs." So that was the next step, and actually this got me a lot of attention. As a German with German background, singing Hebrew, that was the third, and then I had this really big production going on with Jeff de Guillaume. This was the dance thing, So, I met him through his brother, who is the former drummer of the Fugees, Wyclef Jean, and so. So I was totally in this world for some time, I think it's still politically correct. So I was really in the black community also, and this was a very interesting thing, as a white German classical soprano and then with all these wild beats. So this was really a big album we did, you know, Blue and Deep.
Mm-hmm.
And especially this song got out. It's still being played in clubs in Japan. It got played in Canada, everywhere. And there my voice was, of course, in a different setting. You know, that's different because, yeah, you have these producers working with your voice, putting effects on it and all this. And, yeah, but still, like, you know, it's all about transmitting a message. The message is still there. These are my lyrics. This is my voice. This is the, you know, and what I liked about this project, the Blue and Deep, because it reached a lot of people. Blue and Deep, actually, I sing in German, and in Japan, people sang along.
Wow.
You know, they sang along. This is no joke. I have still like videos of the DJs who played it there, or still play it, you know. And I also included Om Namah Shivaya in this song, which is an Indian mantra. And I mean, you know, this is the exciting thing. Get this out there. I know a lot of people dance to it and get in and sing along with this, you know, holy word, or, you know, these mantras. And, you know, it's very exciting. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I want to reach a lot of people in a way. It's not about me getting famous, but you know, it's my vision to spread this energy and this what comes through me when I sing.
Yeah, it's kind of like me here trying to promote New Brunswick, Canada, and it's almost like New Brunswick, Canada has taken 3 steps backwards, even while I'm trying to take several steps forward. It just, that was my experience in Toronto. You know, I didn't want to leave.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you leave? I mean, you still can change places like me, you know.
You know what? I am giving it some considerations, but one of the great things I have here, I love the station that I'm volunteering at here in Fredericton, and I would love to keep working with them. But I find things in Toronto, there's always something happening, and it's very fast-paced, and I made a nice connection with Lisa there, and the people that I met at the conventions was really good, and I'm one of these, like, we have a film festival that goes on here, and I don't want to bash them, so I won't say what it is, but the first year they offered it, they had some pretty decent guests show up, and now it's gotten so small that the only people showing up now are locals with either short films or documentaries, and it's like, it's hard. I've had guests that have never done a signing in Canada, and I'm like, you know, wouldn't it be great if we can, you know, increase the New Brunswick tourism? But it's almost like any time I try, you can't increase tourism if you're only featuring locals that nobody's heard of.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so I kind of get what you're saying, you know, you want to get your stuff out there and heard by a lot of people, because I struggle to try to do that with this province, and it's like New Brunswick, nobody seems to know, well, few people do, but seems to know where it is, and it's like, it was quite a jump for me, because in my 45 years I've never been out of the province, and any time I'd even travel a city over, I'd get homesick. I go to Toronto and I didn't want to leave. I couldn't believe it. It was so much fun, but I would love to see New Brunswick pick up and just, you know, do what you're doing. You know, you're really taking that leap and bound. You went from Germany to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do it, you have really obligations there. I only can encourage you, follow your, you know, why should somebody like you not do this, you know?
Yeah, I'll have
Jump.
to. Yeah. Now, Mike has mentioned that you've done movies as well. How many movies have you been in? Do you know?
2.
Just
to 3,
2?
basically. I'm in a trailer of an upcoming international movie in Europe. But actually, yeah, I'm in a Viking movie with my voice, in a German Viking movie. So there's this ethereal, really haunting style going on. And then I was supposed to be in the soundtrack of a movie directed by Damien Chapa, a Hollywood producer too.
Okay.
And he was shooting in Munich, and I knew the actors who had been involved. And he met me, and he heard my voice, and he wanted me to be in the soundtrack. And this movie is called Father Rupert Meyer. It got out there pretty more successful actually in America than in Germany. And this is about a priest in the Nazi time.
Okay.
You know, the Hitler time, who was like resisting and who came to the concentration camp. And it's a movie about him. And when he saw me, Damien Chapa, and the way I am and act and how I look, because I kind of really, I look Jewish, kind of, So he wrote a scene for me. So I was this Jewish singer, Anna Wunder, who is singing in this Catholic church. This was the scene in the movie. And then the Nazis come and arrest the priest because he has this Jewish girl singing in his church, So that was my scene, and I actually wrote a song for this. I said, oh my God, that's the chance. I should write something. And I came up with the Aramaic, that's the ancient language before Hebrew. That's the language Jesus spoke.
Yeah.
The Aramaic Lord's Prayer, and I wrote a song. And this is in the movie now. So I'm standing there, and that was very exciting. So I also got a scene in the movie. Yes. You all can see it on YouTube under my Wiltrud Weber. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was it like to act in a movie, but compared to you've done music, and now you get a chance to take a leap to the big screen. Did that make you nervous? What was your preparations for that?
I know that I'm not an actress per se,
Mm-hmm.
But it was about getting my voice in, and the director was so into it. I felt safe in that moment. I really felt safe because also the other actors had been good friends of mine. And, actually, I think this was a moment I could do pretty well. It's, when you film, you always can do it over again,
Mm-hmm.
So it was a low-budget thing, so they had to do it all over again and again and again. That gave me the chance, to really get into it. And there was a shoot. They really had this scene where the Nazi officer is shooting somebody in the church. Horrible, really horrible. And, I got so into it, I really could, transmit this shock and everything. And that was not so, when I work with people who see my talent and who just give me a platform,
mm-hmm.
I mostly feel very safe. Like here in Los Angeles. Actually, that was the first concert I stepped on stage and I didn't have stage fright.
Wow.
It's very interesting because I was welcomed so well and introduced in a way that I don't know. That's wonderful, I will have to take more acting coaching now because I will be Irena Sendler in this upcoming musical opera, and there might be a film coming out of it, and I better be good in my acting. So I play Irena Sendler, that's a Polish nurse,
mm-hmm.
Christian background, who saved a lot, over 2,500 Jewish kids from the Warsaw Ghetto. And I have this role, and this is the musical opera is about her. It's very deep and very touching. And we did a 8 minutes thing preview in the concert now in Los Angeles, and this is an honor and a great responsibility. And I get along really well with the composer. She's a wonderful lady, Megan Cavallari. So I will have to act, in the future. But in a way, you act when you are on stage. I do this when I present songs, all the different songs, and just a movement, and I connect with the audience. It's also kind of an acting. It has when it comes from inside, it's authentic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think you'll have to worry because there's so many. As far as you go, I think you'll do fine. But just remember, there's musicians out there that's got heavily big names who failed in music or failed in movies, you know. But so if you're taking on a smaller part and you take those small steps with it, it can really graduate to something even bigger and broader, you know.
Yeah.
And especially since you're from Germany, you know, that gives something a little extra, you know, because we got so many, you know, Americans and Canadians, you know. It's nice to have a mix of some other culture and country in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy because I still have an accent, of course, but people seem to mostly like it and think it's unique and special, so I have kind of a good card here to play. Yeah, that's true. Of course, I'm different. I'm really European in all my way and thinking and attitude. Yeah.
Well, you put me in mind. Your accent puts me in mind of somebody I interviewed back in March from the movie Suspiria. Yeah, which is a Dario Argento horror film that came out in the 1970s, and this lady I interviewed, Stefania Cassini, I interviewed called Rome, Italy, and interviewed her. And you've got the same kind of accent as she has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've never been out to Germany or out to Rome, so I wouldn't know this on a personal level. Just what I hear comes over the phone. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would love Berlin. You should see Berlin.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed with doing these interviews, like Spain and Italy and possibly even Germany, I think are something like 4 or 5 hours ahead of me. But in Los Angeles, where you are, you're 4 hours behind me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure, I should know. Of course. Yeah, right.
Well, you're 3 hours behind, you know, Toronto, but you're 4 hours behind me, because us here in New Brunswick, we're just a little different.
Right. Well, you are connected with the whole world doing your interviews. I mean, that's also a great thing.
Oh, I enjoy doing it, you know, and getting to talk to different talents and people like yourself who I can help put their music out there. What do you have coming out for projects now? Like, do you got any like performances and because I know Mike says that you've been heavily performing in Los Angeles, and I was wondering what else is coming up.
Yeah, so I have to go back now to Germany beginning of December. Oh, yeah, next week I'm performing in the Little Beach House in Malibu.
Okay.
This is the Mike set me up there with Richard Gibbs. He's the founder and owner of the Woodshed Studio.
Okay.
This famous studio where they all record Sting, Coldplay, Barbra Streisand. It's beautiful there at the ocean. And there's this little beach house, and I do an acoustic set. That's next week. I obviously perform this week in a house concert in the weekend. But then I have to go back to Germany because we are applying for my O1 visa now. Of course, I need this, and I will have some performances there. You know, like church, Christmas, and so on. And when I come back, I will have at least already, I know of 3 bigger performances. 2 will be like the whole opera, the musical arena center in 2 different synagogues. And then Martin David, who produced the Villa Worldwide, with me. He's working on, and he already got confirmed. I will have a live performance in the Los Angeles College of Music in Pasadena, and he's talking with people from the Rose Bowl here in Pasadena, and you know, I'm pretty confident there will come up more and more. So, you know.
Wow. Well, you know what? I think this is fantastic, and it's always nice to talk to people that are not here in the Americas, but it's nice to talk to people from other places like Europe and whatnot, and Of course, Germany. Never been to Germany. I've known of a few performers that's come from there, but sounds to me like you got things happening. Now, when you say you're coming back to Los Angeles, when are you coming back?
Well, latest I think cross fingers, because I will come back with the visa in end February, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Still gonna be working with Mike?
Yeah, of course. We work every day together. So, and while I'm in Germany, in summer also I was there and he was there. Yeah, I mean, you can work now over the internet, which is great.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
And we have our talks on the phone, I can call him from Germany. That's no problem.
Wow. Well, you know what? I think this is fantastic, and I look forward. If you ever get touring, you got to come down here to the New Brunswick, Canada area.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Really, I'd love to also meet you in person.
Yeah.
And yeah, wonderful.
Yeah,
But you should get out there also. Come to different places. Visit us in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Mike just asked me that because it was, like I said, it was Lisa Langlois that invited me to Toronto for the horror film convention, Horrorama event, and like I said, never been outside New Brunswick, and it was a chance to meet her, and she's a lovely person. And got to make connections with so many other people in the industry, and it's like, yeah, I've been holed up here in New Brunswick for all my life, and I had such a great experience. It's like, I've got to move forward. I gotta say, I got a great thing going here at the station, and I'm only a volunteer here, but I love the people I'm volunteering with here, and I got to find a way though to make things work here and maybe propel forward in other ways too, because I would love to do more traveling if chances present itself.
Yes. Yeah. Use this as an inspiration interview now. Yeah. You should really do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
I was going to say, though, do you got anything else you want to promote before we close off?
Well, what I really want to not talk about, but make people listen, is my Villa Worldwide album that just got released. This is, we have different tracks on this. We have some Middle Eastern, we have some electronica mixed with opera, we have some kind of cineastic pieces. When you work with a film music composer, obviously the tracks you do, they all could end up in a movie. I have a prayer in Aramaic on it. It has some really cool moments. Yeah.
Do you have a personal?
And I don't know how many songs. I don't know how many songs you will play or you'll be able to play.
Well, I could certainly look into that. Yes. A lot of times now I've been playing recorded interviews on my show, so but sometimes, yes, I can get an opportunity to play some music, and I definitely play some of your music. Do you have any personal favorite songs on your albums that you would like to throw out there for me to play?
Okay, I would definitely play Blue and Deep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know people in Canada loved it some years ago when it came out, Blue and Deep.
Blue and Deep, okay.
Yeah, I can send you I don't know, you have to tell me what I have to send you, or Mike will do it.
Okay.
And then, I mean, actually all songs from the Villa Worldwide are great,
Okay.
Especially, I would say also Revelation, that's called Revelation. It's kind of a Morricone style. I sing in the universal language which is vocalizing, no words, just vocalizing. That's very strong too. You choose what you like to play.
Yeah, definitely. I love to promote the musicians on here, and anytime I get the chance to play music, showcase their stuff. So absolutely, you know, sounds to me like you're not only just bringing the culture of Germany to us, you're also doing a nice blend here on this side of the border as well. So, and I like that. I love hearing people. I love hearing people from other parts of the world excel. You know. I was gonna say, before you go, I was wondering if you would like to do a plug for my show.
A plug for your show? Can you explain me?
It's just where you say, this is Willa Weber. You're listening to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're listening.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Willa Weber, and you are listening to Craig Gilbert from Python's Paradise in New Brunswick, Canada.
Thank you so much, Willa. I wish you the best on your trip back to Germany, and yes, we definitely want you to come back.
Thank you so much, Craig. That was fun talking.